emphasize that the books were free because in those days, you told me children and their parents had to pay for...
We paid book rental, you know, and when I moved here...
This in the public schools?
Yeah, when I moved here with our children, we had to pay book rental at the grade school and the junior high for our children, and I'd never heard of that before. I thought we had free education. In Ohio, we didn't pay for any book rental at all.
Well, I think it's appropriate that we're talking about books because it's just about here, Mary, that we're going to break in the story of how you got to be here tonight, and we're going to go and see you at work in the library cleaning old books at the University of Illinois Rare Book Room.
Good.
So we'll go and do that, and then we'll come back and pick up this story.
All right.
Well, here we are at the Rare Book Room. In fact, actually in the inner bowels of the Rare Book Room of the University of Illinois. And Mary works here with dirty books. She's become a specialist on filthy books. And how did you get into this filth, Mary?
Well, I was asked by a neighbor, Mary Bitzer, who was looking for volunteers to clean books. And that is to restore old and rare books. And we have a joke. We say we're cleaning dirty books.
Yes. The public would be pleased, I'm sure.
Yes, they would.
I understand the library used to have students who were hired to work on this, but then budget cuts caused a 5-year collapse of that effort, and so now what you volunteers are doing is something that was being neglected.
Right.
Well, you have a dirty book.
I have a dirty book.
This is a genuine dirty book. It hasn't been cleaned at all.
Right. It hasn't had a thing done to it. So I'll show you what we do.
Tell us what happens.
All right. The first thing we do is conceal the card so it doesn't get damaged.
By the way, we should see what we're cleaning here. Let's see how filthy this one is. This is called the New Testament?
This is called the New Testament.
Oh, yes.
And let's look at the date in it.
Well, let's see. M.D. and then, so what's that, 1527?
Right.
1527.
1527. And Novum Testa, that means the New Testament. This one is evidently in Latin. It is in Latin.
So that one's, look at the quality of this book. That's really remarkable.
Yes.
All of this
You
work.
see the frayed pages, and they're very yellowed, you see.
Okay. We have movable type at this point? Yeah. Gutenberg is...
Yes.
1490.
Yes.
14 something. So this is movable type. Well, it's still obviously all that decoration around the edge looks awfully beautiful. So it's bound in leather of some sort. Now, do you suppose this is the original binding?
It looks as though it may be.
Could be.
I think it is.
Okay, so that leather's been around for only 450 years.
That's right. And considering it's still in pretty good shape, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, the first thing we do is dust it. To make sure I have all the dust off the top where it gets the dirtiest, I rub a clean cheesecloth over it, and then I encase it in wax paper before I work on the cover so that I don't damage the pages.
I knew there must still be some use for wax paper.
Oh, yes.
Everybody's gone to plastic, but here's a case where you can still use this stuff. Oh, that's clever. You've got it cut to the right length. I think you knew we were coming.
Oh, you do. You look at your page, your book, and you just kind of guess what you think you might need. Some books require 2 sheets. Some very large books.
1454, yeah. No, it wouldn't be probably your
Okay.
There. Now it's encased. Now, with a clean cloth, which I will wet, and then rub it into some saddle soap.
Sounds just like the process for shoes.
It does exactly. A lot of these books look like lovely restored old shoes when we're through with them.
Oh, now I hadn't even seen that pattern on there before,
No,
but now it's coming up.
Yes, see the pattern coming up? Isn't it nice? This book has been rebound.
Aha, okay.
Yes.
That's how you tell.
Yes, I can tell. It has had, many years ago, evidently, another binding.
Would they have retained some of the original?
They often do. Sometimes.
So maybe the end plates and you just get a new spine or something like that.
Now, if a book has gilt on it, we go over the gilt gently so we don't obliterate the gilt. This
Sure.
book has no gilt on it. Then we use a deacidifier so that the book will be protected from mildew and mold.
Mm-hmm.
And we rub that on. See there how dirty it is?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see what
Really
happens
taking
to the
some off.
rag.
Well, already it's looking better. Now you say there are over 100,000 books in the rare book room, 150,000, and of course not all of them have leather bindings, but ultimately the better part of them are going to need some kind of cleaning.
Yes, they
And
are.
how many have you and your volunteers done?
We've done, I think, close to 1,000. 4,000.
4,000.
I've just been told 4,000.
4,000
Isn't that
in
nice?
a period, in how many?
In a little over 2 years.
Okay, so at 2,000 a year, it sounds like we're not going to run out of work for people
No,
to do
we're
here.
not. All right, now this book is ready to be put aside for day 2.
Okay.
And after day 2, it gets a treatment, which I'll show you on this book, which is ready
Okay.
for day 2.
All right, so this one had all that we just
That you just saw.
It was done yesterday.
Right,
or
now
anyway.
it gets a lanolin treatment, which is a leather dressing. And you will see the shine come up when I put the leather dressing on
Oh,
it.
I should say so.
This is lanolin. You see there, it looks like leather now,
And
doesn't
the way I
it?
remember it is lanolin is sheep fat.
Yes,
basically.
that's
Yeah.
right. I believe this is 40% lanolin and 60% neat's foot oil,
Oh, okay.
which is a shoe dressing, of course.
That's right.
Hiking boots are cleaned with neat's foot oil, are they not?
I remember having it around.
Yes.
In fact, I may have a can of it somewhere.
I remember my husband used to clean my hiking boots with neat's foot oil. Now you see it looks like a leather book, doesn't it? Isn't that pretty?
That's rather nice.
All right.
Okay, so that's step 2.
That's day 2. All right. Here is a book that is ready to be shelved. This book is vellum, and all we clean vellum with is water and saddle soap.
Mm-hmm.
It's had that treatment twice.
Mm-hmm. That is really pretty, isn't
Isn't
it?
that pretty? Remove the casing.
Cardinal Bellarmine's Disputations. Now, let's see. That's he was the guy who was the trial. He was opposed to Galileo, you know, in the famous
Oh, he
discussions
was.
with the church. This is the cardinal. Yes, no question about it. Very smart man.